Hello everyone, welcome to Any Pluto. Let's start the video. This film is a fantasy about a red-headed princess who lives in a palace situated in Scotland, not entirely set in stone, to make her way through everyday life. Furthermore, this film likewise shows her battles and boldness when her mom extraordinarily transforms into a demo. Toward the start of the film, we see Princess Merida, the main offspring of the Dunbrock group. Her mom was Sovereign, Eleanor, and her dad was the best Fergus. It was Mia's 6th birthday celebration, and she was playing with her mom all at once. Merida's father comes to the spot. He gives Merida a bow and bolts as her birthday present. Then the ruler was showing his girl how to shoot the bolt at the right objective. During Merida's training, one of the bolts sails off into the woodland, close by me, runs off and recovers it. However, before long experiences a shining blue will-o'-wisp, and she finds a supernatural firefly. As she was pursuing the enchanted firefly, Sovereign O. Leonard shouted to her little girl, "I get back to her folks," and illuminates them that she saw a mystical firefly in the timberland. Her mom says that such an otherworldly firefly carries individuals nearer to their fate. Yet, Fergus Mea's dad didn't have confidence in such sorcery and spells by any stretch of the imagination. He lets them know that they ought to return to the Imperial Royal residence now, since it was at that point evening. All at once a tremendous demon bear comes and goes after them. The bear's name was Mordu the Lord, and his buddies battled the bear, and Sovereign Eleanor escaped with her little girl riding a horse. However, while battling the bear, ruler Fergus lost one of his legs. Then 10 years passed. Presently, Merida likewise has 3 siblings. The 3 siblings are Hamish, Hubert, and Harris, and these 3 are extremely naughty and flighty. Next we see Merida presently grown up. What's more, she could do without the standards a princess needs to observe. Sovereign Elena shows the princess how to be a princess. The sovereign is showing her the principles. However, the young lady has no brain in these things. She shows her little girl that a princess shouldn't make clamor while eating. The princess should rise and shine promptly in the first part of the day, and princesses never laugh uncontrollably. The princess got exhausted while observing these guidelines, yet there was a standard in the realm that on one specific day of the year, Merida didn't need to keep the guidelines of the princess. She could do anything she desired on such a day. Merida went for a ride in the woods on her white and quick pony. From that point forward, she meanders far and white the entire day. She gets over the mountain and hydrates from the spring. In the early evening, the princess got back to. Furthermore, she was exceptionally eager, so she went to the lounge area there and sat the princess folks and her 3 wicked siblings. Ruler Fergus was recounting to his 3 children the tale of his battle with the bear named Mordo a long time back. The bear has not been seen in the most recent 3 years. Ruler Fergus says that assuming he figures out this time, he will get payback. Then, at that point, the princess put her bow and bolt on the feasting table. However, Sovereign Elena says that weapons ought to never be put on the supper table, and as per her, the princess shouldn't have any weapons. However, Lord Fergus goes against this. The Lord expressed out loud whatever happened to the princess. Each man ought to figure out how to shoot bolts and weapons. All at once, a house cleaner shows up and conveys 3 letters to Sovereign Elena. Then, at that point, the sovereign informed them that the masters will introduce their children as admirers of the princess's pledge. The princess will be hitched to whomever Princess Me picks among them. The princess was exceptionally furious in the wake of catching wind of the marriage. She lets her mom know that she won't wed at this point. The young lady flew off the handle and left there. Then the sovereign recounted to her a story quite a while back. There was an old realm controlled by an insightful and fair ruler. He had 4 children. At the point when the ruler became old, he split his abundance between his 4 children. He encouraged his 4 children to run the realm together, yet the most seasoned sovereign was covetous over the entire realm and needed to control the land alone. So he picked his particular manner to vanquish the realm and push the realm towards war. Avarice, savagery, and war prompted the breakdown of the whole realm. Toward the finish of the story, the Sovereign Leonard lets her girl know that this isn't simply a story and there is a flicker of truth in it. Legends or examples, a ring with bits of insight. Meredith doesn't consent to the marriage. The sovereign indignantly leaves the room. Then, at that point, on her dad's solicitation, she consents to the marriage. In the meantime, the masters of the 3 adjoining realms came to the realm of ruler Fergus. Their names are Mac Magafin and Dingwall. While Sovereign is preparing her girl, she lets her little girl know that she looks extremely gorgeous and that she shouldn't neglect to grin. Then, at that point, 3 masters entered that stronghold sovereign. Alina then, at that point, requests that they present their child. Then, at that point, the three masters presented their children individually and started to recount the narrative of their valor. Then the three rulers began snickering at one another, and accordingly, the battle began between them. Lord Fergus goes to stop them, yet he gets into a battle with them. Sovereign Alina was extremely irate to see them, and she proceeded to remain among them, and from that point onward, they quit battling when they saw her. The sovereign then, at that point, lets them know all that is per the guidelines of this realm. Just the primary brought into the world of every clan can partake in this opposition. Furthermore, every one of them should show what he can do with arms or solidarity to wed the princess. Also, the princess herself will watch the rivalries as per the desires of the princess. An arrow-based weaponry rivalry is, whoever passes this toxopholite contest will be chosen. After that, when the game begins, the bolts of the initial two children don't raise a ruckus around town. Luckily, the third man's bolt raises a ruckus around town and his dad begins moving cheerfully. All of a sudden, Marita strolls in. She lets everybody know that she is the main offspring of the Dunbrock family, and she will take an interest herself to win the test. Marita's three bolts then hit the objective effectively, and she substantiates herself as deserving of every other person. So her mom, Sovereign Eleanor, was extremely furious. She carries her girl into the room and tells her that she has offended the head of the three families. In the interim, Merida flies off the handle while quarreling with her mom. The princess tears the embroidery containing family photographs with a blade. Seeing this, the sovereign ended up being extremely furious and tossed her little girl's bow and bolt into the fire. Then Merida begins crying and leaves the castle. She then headed out into the forest on her pony. Then, at that point, unintentionally, he comes into a bazaar. Then Merida saw the mystical light once more. The light drove me more profoundly into the... She then saw that the general climate was somewhat spooky. In the wake of getting far into the woods, Marita saw a little cabin. The princess went inside the little house, and there she saw an elderly person. The elderly person lets Marita know that she makes wooden toys, yet truly, she was a witch. There were many toys inside that room. According to the old woman, Marita, you can take anything that you like, yet Meredith says she doesn't require toys as she wants nothing. The elderly person advises me to escape her. However, Meredith understands that the elderly person is a witch and magician. Since Merita's destiny has brought her here, she lets the elderly person know that perhaps she can change her. Princess shares with the elderly person, I need to change my mom and I will purchase all the toys here if you give me an otherworldly power by which I could change my mom. What's more, in return for every one of these, the princess will give a valuable memento to the elderly person. The old witch consents to this, and she lets Meredith know that she gave this spell to a ruler last time. That ruler needed to have the strength of 10 men in his body, and in return for this, he likewise gave her a memento. The ruler needed to change his fate. From that point forward, the old witch mixed a cake and gave it to her, and she tells her that she needs to take care of this cake for her mom. Then, at that point, her karma will change, yet the witch neglected to tell the young lady a certain something. Then, at that point, Marita got back to the royal residence. Marita then, that point, took care of the cake for her mom. However, her mom became sick after eating the cake. Marita continued to inquire as to whether she had altered her perspective on marriage. Marita then, at that point, took her mom to her room. She takes care of her mom, yet her mom tumbles off the bed. In any case, all of a sudden out of the blue, Sovereign Eleanor transforms into a bear, seeing her mom as a bear. She got extremely terrified. However, later she understands that her mom changed into this for eating this cake. From the start, the sovereign didn't understand what she, at the end of the day, had transformed into. At the point when she saw her face in the mirror, she was extremely disturbed. Even though Alina couldn't talk, she had human sentiments in her body. Merida then lets her mom know that the cake was gathered from the witch. However, she would have rather not transformed her mom into a bear. She simply needed to alter her mom's perspective. Sovereign Alina was exceptionally furious after hearing this. She yells boisterously. Ruler Fergus hears shouts from outside. Marita lets her mom know that they need to stow away, since his dad believes bears to be their most terrible adversary. On the off chance that he sees the sovereign as a bear, he will kill her because the ruler doesn't have faith in that frame of mind by any means. Then the Lord and others began searching for the bear. All at once one of their mates spotted Merida and her mom bear. She moves toward Ruler Fergus with dread and yelling. What's more, let him know that she had seen a bear. Then the Lord ended up being incensed to kill the bear. Then Merida met her mom with her 3 siblings. She She lets her three siblings know that a witch has transformed their mom into a bear, and presently they need to go external to the palace to meet the witch. Presently the princess requests that three siblings help to go out. At long last, the princess emerges from the palace with her mom and went into the backwoods after that. They came up to the witch's cabin. However, there was no witch or nobody, yet the witch left a directive for them continuously. Dawn, your spell will be long-lasting, except if you recall these words. Destiny be changed. Peer inside repair. The bond is torn by pride, then everything vanishes. The two of them went through that evening in the woodland. The following morning they didn't have anything to eat. However, they were both exceptionally eager. Then the young lady got fish from the stream and took care of it with her mom. That fish is extremely enjoyed by her mom bear. And afterward, the young lady helps her mom to get fish. Her mom bear was eating crude fish. Then she began strolling towards the woods without saying anything. Then Merida began strolling behind her mom when she asked her mom, "Where are you going?" Then, at that point, her mom acted like a genuine bear. She was going to go after Marta and quickly felt like a human. Then the princess understands that her mom is gradually changing into a genuine bear, and she is gradually losing human sentiments. Then the two of them saw the otherworldly firefly while following the firefly. Both of them arrived at an old destroyed palace. They understood that there is no human development here. Out of nowhere Merida tumbles down. Merida quickly understands that it is a royal chamber. Merida could comprehend. Her mom had recounted to her the narrative of this city. Then she saw 4 icons made of stone. One of them is parted very much like the embroidery. Seeing this, she understood that this was the antiquated realm and that the person who had been isolated was the most seasoned ruler. She additionally understands that this is the sovereign the witch filled her in about and who got the strength of. All at once Merida pivots and sees the tremendous Mordu remaining behind her. Merida understands that this is the most established ruler who has for all time transformed into a bear. Merida some way or another endures when Mor assaults her. Then, at that point, she got on his mom's back and the two of them took off from that point. Merida then, at that point, learns the importance of the witch's message. On the off chance that they don't join the embroidery before the subsequent dawn, her mom will be a bear until the end of her life. Then the two of them entered the castle. Merida entered the castle and saw the 3 masters and her dad battling with one another. Merida then remained among them and they were totally surprised. She then requests that everybody quit battling and says that our realm isn't. Be that as it may, the solidarity of our state is our personality. At the point when individuals of our clan were gone after by untouchables, we as a whole battled them together. So for what reason would we say we are battling each other at this point? Mi's words contacted everybody's heart. Then, at that point, she lets them know that everybody ought to have the opportunity to pick their soulmate. From that point forward, they all became companions. Merida then set everybody to a room, and when everybody went out, Merida carried her mom to her room. Then Merida takes the partitioned embroidery and lets her mom know that we just need a needle and string. After we saw this embroidery, you'll get back to human structure. Then, at that point, Ruler Fergus came to the young lady's room searching for the sovereign. Inside the room, he sees a bear. He didn't have the foggiest idea that this bear was his significant other, so he goes after to kill a more slender with his. In the interim, the sovereign loses her human affection for some time and behaves like a genuine bear. Unintentionally, she harms Mado a little. She over and again persuades her dad that it is her mom, yet Lord Fergus doesn't trust his girl's words. He locks me in a room and gives the way to a servant and lets the housekeeper know that regardless of what you don't open the entryway of that room. Sovereign Elena escapes into the woods. The Lord then walked into the timberland with his officers to kill the bear. Mary, the other hand, makes a respectable attempt to open the entryway of her room. However, all at once she saw her 3 siblings outside her room who had transformed into bears. She was extremely miserable to see them out of the blue changed into bears. She understands that her 3 siblings have additionally eaten the cake given by the witch. Merida then requests that the 3 siblings take the keys from the house cleaner. Then the 3 siblings grab the keys from the house cleaner. Marta leaves the room with the key. She then takes the torn woven artwork and needle with string and went towards the backwoods with the 3 siblings while heading to the woods. She sewed the fabric. In the meantime, Aless Fatty is encircled by the ruler's men in the woodland. They got her and tie her legs. Merida, then again, follows a mysterious firefly to arrive at the ruler's men. The Lord and his other individuals thought this bear was the horrendous bear Mordu, which made ruler Fergus lose a leg when Lord Fergus was going to kill her. Marita showed up there, and she lets everybody know that nobody will contact my mother. Marta attempts to persuade everybody that it is her mom. However, the Lord doesn't trust her words. At the point when he goes to kill the bear once more, the young ladies and 3 siblings likewise come there. They had transformed into bears by them. The ruler then accepts that his own 3 kids and adored spouse have transformed into bears all at once. Out of nowhere, Mordu comes there and assaults them, and a horrible circumstance emerges. What is happening? The ruler's men assault him. However, Mordu leaves everybody and goes to kill the young lady. He almost killed Merida. Sovereign Alina then unfastens her leg from the rope and goes after Mordu. Sovereign Alina puts her life in extreme danger to save her girl. Subsequently, the battle proceeded. A less fatty then, at that point, drives Mordu to a Goliath rock and continued to push Mordu. Then, at that point, the stone fell on Mordu and he kicked the bucket. All of a sudden, the spirit of the ruler emerges and he quietly expresses gratefulness to the young lady cause he is liberated until the end of time. In the interim, the sun was going to rise. Merida then covers her mom with a sheet, yet her mom doesn't transform into a human. Seeing that, Merida began crying. Her dad, Ruler Fergus, the 3 masters, and the other individuals were stunned to see this. They could barely handle it. Merida gets close to home. She embraced her mom and says that she cherishes her without a doubt. All at once, Sovereign Alina gets back to human structure. Lord Fergus was excited too. Then they comprehend the genuine importance of the message given by the witch. She didn't intend to join the image of the embroidery. Her words were intended to retouch the relationship that had soured between Merida and her mom. Presently, as their relationship has been fixed, her mom has gotten back to the human structure. In the interim, her 3 siblings likewise got back to their unique structure. Then, at that point, they generally joyfully got back to their fortress's sovereign. Alina then, at that point, makes another embroidery containing herself as a bear and her little girl Merida. Then, at that point, the 3 ruler and their kin return to their realms. And here the movie ends. Thanks for watching my video. Please like and subscribe to Any Pluto.